Hello and welcome to our quiet corner of thoughtful planning and gentle decisions. Today we explore how a light approach to real estate can support a comfortable retirement life. When many hear real estate, they imagine large investments, complex deals, or stress. But there is a simpler, calmer way, real estate light, that aligns with peace and stability. In this session we will cover 3 key ideas. Choosing the right kind of property for your comfort, managing it with simplicity, and integrating it into your retirement lifestyle. First, let's begin by recognizing why real estate can still play a positive role in retirement. Planning. A well-chosen property can provide a sense of place, community, and long-term value, beyond just financial return. It can anchor your lifestyle, offer flexibility, and give you comfort in your surroundings. However, it does not need to be complex, leveraged, or high maintenance to be effective. When you approach property with calm intent, you shift from risk to reliability. Now let's move to the first idea: choosing the right kind of property for your comfort. Begin by asking, what sort of property aligns with my retirement vision rather than my earlier career goals? Maybe you imagine a modest home in a peaceful location, a small condo near amenities, or a rental unit that you can manage easily. The aim is not to chase the highest yield or fastest growth, but to choose something you will enjoy and maintain without stress. You might pick a property in a familiar neighborhood or one with low upkeep costs. Cutting grass, repainting, and major repairs can all add stress. Think of choosing a cozy cottage rather than a sprawling mansion. Small, manageable, and full of character. When you focus on comfort and fit, you reduce the risk of regret or burden later. Next, we explore the second idea: managing your property with simplicity. Once you have the right property, the ongoing task matters more than the initial purchase. For example, you might choose to rent out a room instead of the whole house so you can continue living there and share the role of maintenance. Or you might opt for a property that comes with a maintenance service or homeowners association that handles routine tasks. When you reduce the hassle, you protect your peace as well as your asset. A practical habit: set aside one monthly session, maybe while sipping tea, to check your property's condition, rental status, if applicable, and your feelings about it. This little ritual keeps you connected without becoming overwhelmed. Also consider choosing a property with strong access to public transport or easy walkability so your day-to-day life remains comfortable and flexible. These choices help you enjoy your home rather than feel burdened by it. Now let's proceed to the third idea: integrating your property into your retirement lifestyle. When you view property not just as an investment, but as a place where you live well, you connect value to your values. For example, if your value is community, you might choose a smaller unit in a multi-generational complex where you can engage with neighbors and activities. If your value is nature, you might invest in a cottage near green space and plan outings rather than constant upkeep. When you align your property with your lifestyle, your responsibility becomes part of your enjoyment rather than an extra job. Let's bring the 3 ideas together into a simple plan you can use. Step 1. List the features you want in your retirement home: comfort, low maintenance, good neighborhood, accessibility. Step 2. Select a budget you are comfortable with that won't strain your retirement income or savings. Step 3. Commit to a small monthly review habit. Check the property, review costs, and reflect whether it continues to serve your lifestyle vision. By repeating this plan, you build a property habit that supports your retirement rather than detracts from it. Let's illustrate with a real-life example. Imagine a person who retired and bought a small one-bed condo in a friendly community near shops and transport. They chose the unit because it required minimal repairs, had a helpful management office, and was walkable. Each month they spent 15 minutes reviewing mail, looking at maintenance notices, and strolling in the local neighborhood with a coffee. Over time they felt more settled, more connected, and less worried about property tasks than they had expected. Another example. A couple who love gardening but dislike large houses bought a modest cottage with a small garden and hired a gardener service twice a month. They decided to rent out a separate drive-in studio unit on the same property to a creative tenant. This provided extra income, but more importantly, it kept them engaged in the community and maintained freedom to use their home as they liked. They scheduled a quarterly dinner on the patio to review how the rental was going and how they felt about their home environment. These stories show how real estate light can combine comfort, connection, and stability without the stress of large investment property deals. Now let's reflect on why this approach is especially relevant today. In many markets, property values remain elevated and interest rates are higher than a few years ago, making large leverage less appealing. When borrowing costs are higher, the margin for error narrows, especially in retirement when your income is more fixed. By choosing modest property and keeping simplicity, you reduce exposure to interest rate risk, maintenance surprises, and long-term stress. A recent Global article highlights that longer lifespans mean we may spend more time at home than previous generations expected. For example, lifespan trends. In this context, a comfortable, well-chosen home becomes more than an asset. It becomes a foundation of well-being. Now we will talk about practical steps you can begin right away. First, write down your top 3 preferences for a retirement home: size, location, upkeep level. Second, set a realistic budget ceiling that you won't feel pressured by and stick to it. Third, research properties in your preferred area and inspect maintenance history, management cost, and walkability. Fourth, create your monthly review habit. Choose a day and time to check things like mail, maintenance list, and your feelings about the place. Fifth, assign your quarterly reflection. Over a cup of tea, ask whether the home still reflects your values and lifestyle and if any adjustments are needed. These steps are simple and manageable. They keep property aligned with life rather than letting property dominate life. Now let's consider some common pitfalls and how to avoid them. Pitfall 1. Buying a larger property than you need because you imagine future needs, and then feeling burdened by its upkeep. Better to start smaller and shift later if needed rather than commit to large maintenance tasks up front. Pitfall 2. Focusing only on potential rental income without fully accounting for maintenance, vacancy, or personal impact. A balanced view helps you stay comfortable rather than chasing returns and feeling stressed. Pitfall 3. Neglecting the lifestyle fit and buying in a location you don't love because of price or perceived investment value. When your home doesn't feel right, you may feel disconnected and less satisfied even if the financials look okay. Now let's highlight the benefits you will gain with this approach. You will feel more at ease because your property is one you enjoy and can comfortably manage rather than one you worry about. You will experience more connection to your community, your home, and your everyday surroundings. You will build an asset that supports your lifestyle rather than competes with it. And you will create a retirement life that reflects your values: comfort, simplicity, freedom, and meaningful living, not just accumulation of assets. Now let's recap our key points once more. We began by recognizing how a modest property choice can support retirement comfort rather than stress. Then we outlined 3 key ideas: choosing the right property, managing it simply, and aligning it with your lifestyle. We provided practical steps you can start with immediately and offered real-life examples of how this can work in practice. We discussed why this approach is especially helpful in today's environment of higher property maintenance and longer lifespans. And we addressed common pitfalls and summarized the benefits of this real estate light approach. As we draw our lesson to a close, here is your action checklist for today. 1. Write down your top 3 preferences for your retirement home, including size, location, and upkeep level. 2. Set a budget ceiling you feel comfortable with and commit to researching properties within that cost. 3. Choose a day each month for your review habit and schedule your first inspection walk with your favorite drink. 4. Choose a date each quarter for your reflection over tea. Ask whether your home still supports your values and lifestyle. And finally, let me share a proverb. A house is built with hands, but a home is built with heart. This reminds us that what matters most is not just the structure, but how the space supports your daily life and inner peace. In this way, when you invest in property with heart, simplicity, and clarity, you build not just an asset but a sanctuary for your retirement. Thank you for spending this quiet time with me today. May your home bring you comfort, freedom, and calm as you move into this new chapter of your life. Until next time, take gentle care of your space. And more importantly, take gentle care of your peace.